My name is Jeff Patterson, Head of Customer Success at Finance Magnates. Speaking with me here today is Greg Rubin, Head of Axi Select. Greg, it's nice to see you again. So let's just dive right in. Perhaps you could start by telling me what is new with Axi Select in terms of features, specifics, etc.
Hi, Jeff. Firstly, thank you for having me on. Good to speak to you. Um, so yeah, when we sort of would have spoken, it would have been in the early stages of Axi Select when we were sort of starting out, and a lot has changed since then. We launched with a different model to the rest of the industry, and thankfully we have seen it being very well received. In terms of what's new, we've improved our product. So things like the edge score you might be familiar with, we added the ability for traders to be able to reset their edge score to start again if they weren't happy with their performance. And we also introduced something called the edge score explainers, which gives traders more information regarding their score, what's affecting their score, the components, what they can do to improve their score, with the intention for traders to be able to improve their trading and also to achieve higher scores. In terms of the actual program, I guess was quite exciting as we recently welcomed our first trader at the Pro M stage, which is $1 million of our funds. We gave the first trader achieved that status. And we also have another trader who has met all the criteria. I believe it's 5-6 days or so away. So we're not far from having our second trader. So it's great to see the traders progressing to the final stages. We have quite a significant amount of traders at the Pro 500, the $500,000 stage, as well as at the Pro stage, which is $200,000 of our fund. So it is great to see traders sort of progress up through the program. In terms of the actual offering, we pride ourselves on not just being a funding program. Education is super important to us, and we've also improved our education with our trading room. We've got a mobile app now for the trading room, and we do weekly webinars as well, covering all spectrums of different or all aspects of the different markets in there. So we are continuously improving the education, improving the content, and ultimately improving our product.
It's fantastic. Yeah, education is always an area of emphasis, and it's great to hear that you have a lot of interest in this and a lot of traders. So Axi Select has been around for over a year now. In your opinion, why should traders with other brokers switch to Axi Select?
So I'm happy you asked that question of traders and other brokers, because that's actually a message that we've been trying to get across recently. When people perceive Axi Select or think what Axi Select is, we often seen as a prop firm, as a model that's different. We like to think more trader centric in the prop firm space, as opposed to being on the speculative side, or being to provide traders with a more holistic opportunity. But we wouldn't classify ourselves as a prop firm per se. Yes, we have that offering, and we believe it's a lot more advantageous for traders. But when you look at how Axi Select work, it also is very much structured for traders who are trading at other brokers, because the whole structure is, there's no registration fee. It's free to join for traders. Traders have to deposit funds into their own trading account, and that's exactly how it works at a broker. So when traders join Axi Select, they get given a broker account, and we set up an account with our funds that trades parallel. So from the trader's perspective, all they are doing is trading their broker account as they would, and they're entitled to share in the profits of the funds in our account with our funds in. So from a trader's perspective, there's no difference. It's do what you're doing at your broker, but if you make money come the end of the month, depending on the stage, you get paid money automatically into your trading account. So there's no downside in that sense for a trader. There is risk, like a trader at a broker account, you can lose your funds in your account. So for new traders on the program or joining the program, or for traders who are trading it from a prop perspective, you're depositing money which you can lose. But if you're a trader and you're trading at a broker, and we're saying, well, bring the same amount of sum to Axi, trade on the Axi Select account, and if you've made money, you will get paid extra money come the end of the month if you're at any of the paying stages. On top of that, you'll get free access to the trading room, where there are live experienced traders in there, the weekly webinars, the community, the edge score to improve your trading. So you've got all these tools and you've got access to extra capital. So there really is no downside for traders who are already trading at other brokers. And that's where we also position Axi Select as a revolutionary offering in the broker space. So I'm very happy you asked that as a broker and not as a prop firm, because it's something that we're trying to explain to the market that we're not a prop firm that's free. We're a broker that's offering an holistic program that actually covers both spectrums, and we're very proud by the ability and the platform that we're giving traders to really express themselves.
Absolutely. No, it seems very straightforward and obviously a much more attractive way in terms of mitigating one's risk. It sounds like the process to switch is rather simplified, would you say?
Yeah, so all Axi Select is a real life trading account at a broker. So for a trader to switch, essentially they would need to sign up for an Axi account. They will get an Axi Select account. And then to qualify for the program, there are two criteria. You need to place 20 trades to achieve an edge score. And if your edge score is 50 or more, and you deposit a minimum of $500 into your Axi Select account, you then qualify for the seed stage, which is the first stage of our program, and you get access to the dashboard and to the trading room, and that's when you qualify for the program. So it's the same process as setting up a broker account. One of the, I guess, big issues in this industry, or one of the big murmurs that are coming out right now is, as a whole, most firms would not do a KYC or any AML on clients because it's all demo accounts. With Axi and Axi Select, you need to go through those processes. We do that on every single client because you're getting a real life trading account. So in that sense, compared to other prop firms, there might be some more stringent or details that you need to provide, but that's very important to us. If we are setting up real life accounts with our funds are trading parallel to client funds, it's important that we do our due diligence, and that's something we take seriously.
100%. It's glad to hear the emphasis on KYC and more transparency. So certainly the industry needs more of that, I would say. But have you had any noteworthy success stories from traders who switched to Axi Select? Or what has been the main impetus, would you say, behind the switch? I know you touched on that before. But...
Yeah, so I spoke briefly about the first person to reach $1 million. We're about to have the second person to reach there. But what we've been really touched by is the feedback we've received from clients. We've seen quite a few stories of traders who started with $500 and now trading $500,000 of our funds. And yeah, due to the sort of feedback we received, we recently started a series, which is sort of our traders who are sharing their stories. And, I could tell you what we've done for people, but it's a lot more, it comes across a lot stronger or real when you sort of listen to these stories of all these traders. There's some very young traders who are managing money that they would have never been able to. And, all they did to get access to $500,000 was put $500 into an account and trade for 6 months with us. And then to access the ability to have $500,000. So we're super touched by what we're doing in the space and how we've really been able to give opportunity or provide a platform which wouldn't otherwise exist. So to answer your question directly, I'll say feel free to Google Axi Select talks and to listen to the traders. We have one a week at the moment, from traders at different levels who are coming forward to share their stories. And it's I don't want to call one out specifically. I know I have before, and I actually shouldn't because there are so many beautiful stories there. But it's just great.
It's glad to hear you have a nice growing community there as well. So
it's so important to us, community. It's when you look at the way we set this program up, we do have a leaderboard which sort of shows percentages, but the purpose of that is not to be competitive. It's to work together. It's to have that cohesion, and that's something we pride ourselves on. Trading's a difficult game. I look at my trading story, my journey. I found a community, and that's where my trading career really sort of progressed. And I feel I've taken that quite personally when it comes to Axi Select and knowing how important it is, which is why we've got experienced traders in the trading room. It's why you can ask questions. There's daily analysis that goes on there. There's views of charts, there's reviews, there's webinars, there's a library of content. It's just so important to have that space where you can share, and we want the community pulling in the same directions, and ultimately get to as many traders at the pro stages as possible.
For sure, yeah, that back and forth, that sense of community belonging, the dialogue that takes place, all those very helpful constructs, especially for traders just starting off or looking to scale up. So absolutely. Without divulging too much information, are you able to give us some results with us or useful statistics just in terms of the program overall? Or
Yeah. So in terms of clients, we're up to around 27,000 clients who have joined the Axi Select program. In terms of funding, we've given approximately about just over $200 million in funding to clients, US dollars. And in terms of payouts to clients, we've paid out roughly 4.4 million US dollars so far. So, and this is, again, it's just growing. I see on a month-by-month basis, every month it seems to be growing. Well, we only launched a year and a half ago. So and with the requirements we have per stage, it takes time for traders to reach the higher stages. So those figure on a monthly basis, all three of them are increasing. So it's great to see. And hopefully next time we speak, they tenfold.
It definitely seems like it's coming along, and it seems like it's approaching that trajectory, I guess I'd say so. But looking ahead, do you have anything new planned, be it features, otherwise, for Axi Select, or anything new?
I got to be careful what I can and can't say.
Okay, no.
Yeah, so look, we do have one that I'm prepared to say is MT5. It's something that we have started the process on. At the moment, Axi Select is available on MT4. I don't want to give exact dates, but it's something that we are looking to incorporate at the moment. Again, in terms of our product, it's very important we keep improving it. And the one thing we've noticed is our dashboard. We want to make it, without giving away exactly what we do, we want to provide more tools, more of a journal, more ability for traders to be able to view interactive dashboards, or to be able to view or to use a lot more detailed analysis, provide ability for more detailed analysis. So we're looking to really shape our dashboard at the moment and incorporate certain calculators to help traders on the program as well. So we're on the process of doing that. That and MT5 are two of the major things we are looking at in terms of the program. We do actually have a survey going out in 3 days' time, so we always take customer feedback very seriously. So we'll see what comes off the back of that. Even the Edge Core Explainers is something we want to keep progressing and keep improving. And in terms of our actual program, we're always taking feedback into account, whether that's the structure. So that's kind of where we're at in terms of new features at the minute.
In terms of that survey, what are you hoping to see from that? Or any sort of shifts in demands or interest in a new strategy or something, or feature?
So the big thing for us as well is to see how people perceive it, because Axi Select is unique, right? We are the only, if you look at us as a prop firm, we are the only prop firm with this model as far as I know. As you look at us in the broker space, we are the only firm in the broker space that's offering an account on the side that trades parallel. You don't pay any fees to have access to it. So people, we want to see how we perceive and how that message is getting across. And I refer to something which I guess is a pain point that I have, is terms of the number of days. When you look at the number of days on the Axi Select program, we do require traders to trade for a certain number of days, because ultimately we're giving traders a significant amount of funds, and we want to make sure that traders have the right skills to manage such funds. Where the industry standards in the prop firm space has been, all the messaging is, and again, not every firm, but the general messaging is place a few trades, have a couple wins, get access to $200,000 in 5 days, in 10 days. And, I'll know if you're being offered $200,000 and when you've seen a week of someone or 2 weeks, someone's trade history, there's something that doesn't sit quite right. So that just should not be the industry norm. And even to have that messaging, in my opinion, is quite dangerous. With us, I will always tell you trading's difficult. Most traders don't make money. Most traders will not make it to the pro stage. But what we can do as a company and a platform is provide a fair and level playing field to give traders that opportunity. to provide the support that they need. And in order for us to do that, we need to see an ability for traders that they have the right. If you're managing $1 million of our funds, we're not going to give that to you after a week of trading, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
it's that sort of message I think is quite important that we try to get across. And that's why our number of days is very much firmly in place, because it's real. We're really giving traders this amount of money and paying traders on a monthly basis. We have automatic payouts as well. So end of the month comes, traders are automatically paid the funds into the Axi Select account. So it's part of the trader-centric program that we offer, and it's something that I find very, very important to what we're trying to achieve in this space.
Well, I appreciate the perspective. The transparency is certainly refreshing.
Absolutely.
So just to wrap up here, I guess for those out there still undecided, in what ways can an individual expect Axi Select to enhance their trading experience, their journey, or their ultimate success?
Well, I think Axi Select solves multiple issues in the space. One is liquidity. A lot of traders don't have the required capital to start trading the size that they trade, because you look at traders and you watch the videos of them on their yachts or driving Ferraris, and you think, well, how am I going to get there? And the natural tendency is to trade too big a size. So one of the reasons most traders in the retail space lose money is they use too much leverage trying to trade too big a size. Yeah. And what Axi Select does, it solves that, in the sense is that we say, well, trade as you'll trade with your funds, and you can start with a relatively small amount of sums, and with small amount of sums, you can get access to large amount of sums with Axi Select. Yes, it's difficult, but if you made it to the end, you could have $5,000 of your funds to trade $1 million of our funds. So it's incredible with us. If you're a good trader and you stick to your rules and principles, we offer that platform to provide the liquidity and to solve that issue where a lot of traders have, that you don't have to trade aggressively, which ultimately leads to accounts being blown up. So we're not looking for traders who want to come and take a few punts. We're looking for traders who want to forge long-term careers, who want a platform and a realistic and fair opportunity to be able to achieve success. That's what Axi Select is about, and what we offer. In terms of traders, again, who are trading at brokers, I say the same thing to you. What is the downside? If you got $1,000 at your broker, what do you look for at a broker? You look at trust, which is obviously super important. Execution, trading conditions. Axi is very much up there on the in the top echelon when it comes to execution, when it comes to a trust factor. But we say, whilst those are relatively standard amongst top brokers, we say, well, we actually will pay you more for money that you make on your actual account. So in that sense, if you're undecided, just do exactly what you're doing at your broker and get an extra payday at the end of the month. And if you lose money, you're not in a worse position, you're in the same position.
Right. No, that part makes perfect sense.
Well, that's exactly the broker message, or the broker offering that we're offering. And in terms of other people on the fence, I'll say try it. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free to join. Right? There's no registration fee. There's no fees involved at all. You trade your broker account as you normally would do. And in terms of the prop space, yes, we've got more rules. Well, not more rules. We've got more requirements in terms of the program being longer. But we also got those fair trading conditions. And again, it's something that I speak about often. And it's a little bit off topic, but I just want to mention this. One of the things that I always say is, when people look at prop firms, they look at it incorrectly. They're the two most things people look at are, what are the registration fees, what percentage of profits, and how long will it take me to have access to that capital. But people overlook the trading conditions. And to me, that is the most important thing about your prop firm offering. Because all very well me saying to you, here's $1 million of our funds, you can keep 100% of it. But if I put restrictions on your account and I make it impossible from a trading conditions, you're unlikely to make money, so you're not going to get any benefit from it. So things that we are very, very much value is giving traders a complete level trading playing field. So it is a broker account that you trade, live account. We don't have any rules around trading around news. You can trade how you want around news. You can hold positions over weekend. There are no restrictions like that. There's no daily limit that you can lose. You have your 10% drawdown. What you do intraday is up to you. Trading around news, you can trade around news, and high watermark level, right? We don't have any high watermark level to penalize traders who are being successful. If you're being successful, you've got that buffer, unless you get paid. When you get paid, the allocation account does get reset naturally because you've received our funds. But we don't have any restrictive trading conditions. And I think, to me, that is one of the most important things. It gives you a fair opportunity.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
something
No,
we
that's
absolutely,
definitely
that's just so important. It's because you want, Axi Select is leveling the playing field in the broker space and the prop firm space. It's giving a fair opportunity. Again, we cannot make millionaires. We cannot make you make money trading. That's not what we're here to do. But we're here to give that fair opportunity. What trader does from there is up to them. And I'm the first to say it's not easy. A lot of traders will lose money. Not many will make it to the $1 million stage. But naturally, that's just the way trading is. But what we do as a firm is we give the tools, the education, the platform, the structure, and ultimately the funding.
But those conditions, everything else, it definitely seems a game changer, especially as you alluded to. This is not a very easy avenue to succeed in. So, providing those resources, that structure, having that foundation in place, those are obviously integral to success for anyone, really. So, it's nice to hear
Absolutely.
that.
But they're often overlooked. You'll be surprised. I mean, if I'm speaking to people about prop firms and might not know who I am, I'll say to them, even we do the survey. So you go back, why we do the surveys. You ask the surveys the question, and you can see people want to know what's the percentage that I'll earn and how much of your funds will you give me. But that's all irrelevant if you have tough trading conditions. And I want more people to understand, when you're looking at prop firms, you might not like Axi Select. You might want to join a different prop firm. That's totally fine. But I would have a look at what are those conditions. What is the likelihood? Rather take a lower percentage and less funding to have better trading conditions.
Yeah.
That's very, very important.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like you said. I think people's attention is in the wrong place, and I think if you focus on those things above all else, I think you're obviously going to probably be better off for it. And it's good to hear you guys emphasizing that. So,
Absolutely.
that's all from my end. Do you have anything else you'd like to add, or?
I'm happy. That was, I
Okay.
felt, I don't know why, but I felt like because of the nature of the questions, I actually came across quite salesy, which I don't like to do. But
Oh, no. You
it
just
was
seem very
good.
passionate about what you're discussing. So,
Yeah, I mean, off the record, we do some really great stuff in this space. And there's this 21-year-old Brazilian guy who literally had $500 out, got $500,000, and it's just like his life's changed. And there's so many of those stories. We're super proud of what we're doing in this space. I try to be very soft on the record. I don't try to overdo that, but we're really seeing some great stories here, and it's awesome to see.
great. Well, it's very nice to hear. So, well, thank you for your time. It's obviously been a pleasure, and
Thank
I
you.
wish Axie and yourself the best of luck in 2025.
Thanks so much. And just before you go, you happy with all of it? All good?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It was
Okay.
great. I mean, I think if you think this is a salesy approach, I mean, like I said, you should hear other people talk. I mean, at least
Oh,
like the
really?
way you yeah, I know the way you
Okay.
talk, it's much more organic. Like I don't know, just is if I was a prospective trader or someone who is interested in this, I would certainly be very interested, or at least look at this in a different vein than what I would before. Because you're right, when you look at these offerings, the marketing
It's
behind it, everything, it's the same. It's geared towards the same, and it's just you're programmed to look at it from this perspective. But it's like you said, it's a fundamental misunderstanding of this. So
Yeah, but the whole model is money in versus registration fees versus money out where traders make it to funded. So it's
yeah,
not in their interest to allow traders to make it to the funded stage, which is why you have all these rules to stop traders making to the stage.
yeah.
Yeah, but we're the
It's
good
always for the
guys.
small print. No,
Absolutely.
having spoken to a lot of you guys, I definitely was more impressed with what you're saying here. So,
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate the time. I
yes,
enjoyed
no
that.
problem. No, I really appreciate the time, and sorry to keep you so late. So I hope you have a good
No
evening,
problem at
man.
all. We'll speak soon. Thank you.
Bye. Ciao.
Cheers.